Hello, guys. Welcome to another Night with Phee. I certainly appreciate you guys tuning in tonight for a wonderful evening on the Phee Smee network. Had some travels this weekend, and we had a surprise guest in the studio. Manly Mark steps in, gets crazy on the set of Night, and then starts disrobing. I'm telling you, I was a little concerned there for a second, but he says it's hot on the beach. It's always hot on the beach if Phee's there. It's a beautiful evening, Sunday, and Monday night, and we're having a great time here on the Phee Smee network. If you'd like to subscribe, share, like, or even love us, we certainly would appreciate the opportunity to do business with you. Thank you guys for tuning in, as I had a little sound trouble. That's normally what Phee will have a problem with. If he's got some sound trouble, he's got some sound trouble. But I've always got folks out there trying to take care of me, and I certainly appreciate that. And thank you so much. Thank you guys for tuning in to Night with Phee. Last week we had a great time with our sports ball, Phee Sports Ball with Sir Isaac the Guru. Phee's crushing them again with fantasy football. Unless Patrick Mahomes goes nuts in the last quarter and a half, Phee will win us 6 games and only 2 losses. And, of course, the 2 losses, one was by 1 point, and one is 2 top players in round 1 and 2 were hurt. One out for the year, Malik Neighbors, having to adjust, and one, Lamar Jackson, hadn't played in 4 weeks. So Phee's got a pretty solid team. And we do appreciate all the podcasts. I will tell you guys that I think the Phee Smee show with Manly Mark Friday was by far the best show we've done to date. The inserts were tremendous, fantastic information and entertainment, and both globally and in the United States of America. So thank you guys so much, and I would recommend that you guys watch that. Tonight on Night with Phee, we're going to talk about my vision. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Can you imagine on June the 24th, 2023, when I had this vision, 2 years and 4 months now ago? It's amazing to me that what transpired. The things I saw, like President Trump being elected 18 months before he was elected, Wisconsin would take him over the top. That he was in being sued in a Georgia courtroom at that point. That's pretty good. Or that my Lord showed me, even at my mother's funeral, 2 weeks after I had the vision, I told them that the United States has to protect Israel and unborn children. And then October 7th happened, and that's exactly what transpired. As they cut the babies out of mothers' stomachs and cut their heads off. We're going to stand with the nation of Israel. I can promise you that it's my Lord's anointed, Donald Trump, for this time. He's not the Messiah, and doesn't mean he's a great man. Well, he's a sinful man, but he is anointed for this time, and so I'm thankful for him. The nations that were represented by animals, my Lord made that so easy for me. Like, he didn't make it. Daniel and John, they struggled with that. I mean, can you imagine 15, 20 years for the manuscripts to even be read? And both of them had to go through some really difficult times. But can you imagine how crazy people must have thought I was when I was telling them that the National Guard would go all over the United States? And there would be cyber attacks and terror attacks and a civil war. And that it's just amazing to see how over the last 2 years those things have come about. And it's going to continue. The United Nations and their meetings and the Palestinian state and them recognizing that. It's just a glossed over time period where it's a dimension of time that it doesn't concern me. I know the only reason I'm living is because my Lord gave me this vision. I don't even think about being terminally ill. I don't hurt like a terminally ill patient. I don't look like a terminally ill patient. It never enters my mind, but they can't figure out how I'm living. They still got the pictures. And before it's all over with, my Lord's going to completely heal every single thing about me because I have the understanding to instruct. I can coach. He made me for this. So I don't need the validation of other people, but I'm in it to win it. Even if you don't believe the vision, I have people that are close to me that don't believe it, and that's okay. I get it. I mean, if somebody would have told me they had a vision, I don't know how much time I'd have spent thinking about it. So I get it. All these great podcasters that have been in this business a long time and have all these millions of views, I wonder sometimes, and fear jumps up on me as, man, I'm late. I'm behind. I don't have 15 years. I've got to get there. I've got to get this done. I mean, I need 1,000 people, and I need 10,000, and I need 100,000, and I need 1,000,000, and how am I going to get there? And then my Lord just says, look, I got you. I got you. So my vision, it's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. And if you'll just give me that one step of faith, that maybe it will, maybe it won't. Just, well, he's been lucky so far. Let's just watch him and see if we can't find something he does wrong. He's something else. He might say something wrong, and then we can catch him. You don't know how I grew up like that, folks. Every time I went into town, people pulling against me. Do you know how many people doubted me in my life? Never entered my mind, never bothered me. And I'm in it to win it. I wanted to prove them wrong. I wanted to win, and I'm on the winning side. It's fantastic, unbelievable that I can just look at the parallel of me as a child all the way through in sports and in business, relationships. It's just I was made for this. I just like for people to pull against me. So pull against me if you need to. Say I'm absolutely crazy, but you're going to find I'm going to win you over because I'm going to continue telling you things, and they're going to continue to happen. And after they do, it's just going to add a little more credibility because the goal here is for me to get you from that first step of faith to that second step of faith, and from that second step of faith to the third step of faith. And you do that over a period of time. Anybody can hit a home run, but can you consistently hit the long ball? Anybody can have a 4-for-4 game, but can you consistently hit for average? Like you had a quarterback in Miami, they were ranked number 2 in the country, threw 4 interceptions 2 weeks ago. That's tough to do. You throw 2 interceptions a lot of times. 3, that's a bad game. But you throw 4 interceptions and only lose by a touchdown or less, you were the reason that they lost that game. And that's the reason you either going to fold and go tuck your head between your tail and go home and put your head under your pillow, or you're going to get out there and tell them that's not going to happen again and go out there and throw 4 touchdowns the next week. You don't know what's going on inside of people's heads. You'll never know. But my Lord knows. He knows what's on your mind. He knows everything that you've ever thought about. Only He knows that your mind, you and Him. So you can fool all the people some of the time, some of the people all the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. And you can never fool my Lord Jesus Christ because He knows your heart. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight to Night as we're talking about my vision. It's not a matter of if, but it's a matter of when. Because everything that I've told you that's happened has happened so far, and it's just going to continue to happen, folks, just like I tell you. So tune in, tell a friend, jump in, have a big party every time I'm on, and let's see if we can't figure out something that Fee's doing wrong. I don't mind. Matter of fact, I would rather have 100 of those than nobody tuning in, because I like trying to win people over. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for these questions. My website was up some this weekend, down some. I did get some questions, but we will get into those questions. But if you have it, you'll go to feesmee.com. You'll see a question there. You can fill that out. Sometimes it'll be up, sometimes it won't. So if we don't get the method, another method up, then just check back and see, because we've got about another 10 to 15 days of that website being a real problem to us as we're converting over from a one domain situation to another. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Night with Phee, and I will get right down to. I went on early and did a really good job with the intro. Don't know how well that was or what I left out or didn't leave out, but I'll say I saw the National Guard, the civil unrest, the United Nations, World War III, the one world government, the one world religion, the 3.5 years of tribulations, and the second coming of Jesus. So those were in my vision. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and we will just continue to move forward. Every single day is one step closer to my Lord coming back. This is the season, folks. So we've got a question tonight. Phee, I'm a guy that is bad at reading women. A few girls have told me that I am clueless when it comes to the opposite sex. What tips can you share that would allow me to catch the vibes they are putting down? Vince in Colorado. Well, Vince, what kind of vibes are they putting down around you that you're missing? You're clueless. Always when you're visiting in a new meeting someone for the first time, or a group situation, or a first date, or a first interaction, the first thing you want to do is always you want to check her eyes. Check the eyes. Read the eyes. Next thing is you want to look from the very first time, if she greets you, look at that smile. That's normally a formal smile. If you can get her laughing or get her interested in you, some women you can spend 5 minutes with, and they think they've known you for months. Other ones, it's very awkward. And I would tell you that the ones that are awkward, you give it some time, but then those are red flags, because the laws of attraction, if you're meant to be, you're like a magnet. You don't have to work that hard at it. It'll be easy for you. But if you can check that first smile compared to once she gets comfortable with you laughing, then you'll see a real smile. You'll see that sly smile. If you read her eyes and read that smile, you'll be able to tell from the "Hey, how you doing?" to "Hey, how you doing?" And that's the key. Once you get there, then you can actually find out something about her. But first thing you should do is just clock the smile when you've introduced, and then as you continue to have a relationship or conversation with her, if she's laughing, if she drops down that smile and to her real smile, to where that she's not still trying to impress you, then you've gotten through that first interview session. That's the first time. First thing you've got to do: read her eyes and read her smile. Make sure one's voluntary, one's involuntary. So always wait and see if you can get let her guard get down, and then you'll get that real sly smile, that mischievous smile. That's the one you're looking for. Not the formal greeting smile. So that would probably be number one that I would tell you. Number two is she likes if you have a conversation with her and you move on to a different topic, or you're talking to somebody else, and then she comes back. She wants to restart that conversation. It's not about the words that she was having. In other words, hey, what we were talking about? I wanted to also add this, or I wanted to tell you about that. She's trying to look for that electricity that she had during that topic, during that conversation, that charge that was there during that time. So it's not about rehashing the topic as much as it is her trying to recreate that. So you can always check and see if she wants to go back to a topic that you've already talked about. Hey, I forgot about this. Oh, I remembered this. She wants to get back there because the level of interest there she liked. She liked that, and that's what she's not going to tell you I like that, but she's gonna show you that if you can pay attention. So always remember your eyes, the formal smile to the informal laid back smile to the conversation, how it flows, all the way to she'll sync with you, and you'll sync with her. In relationships, what's really cool is if you really know that you've got something good going on, is when you start syncing with them and they start syncing with you, because that's subconscious. That's not, hey, I need to pause here. I need to say this here. I need to do this. That's not what that's about. It's about the energy and the vibe connecting on a magnetism level. So those are also things that you can look for when you're trying to think about figuring out whether it's she's into you or whether you're missing the clues or that I don't know. So maybe there's a lot of guys out there that they're scared to talk, so they put off the vibe of I'm the quiet masculine guy, and that works for a while. But then sooner or later you do have to open your mouth, and then you might be the dumb quiet masculine guy that gives her no energy whatsoever and no vibe whatsoever. So at some point that's not enough. You need masculinity, and you need to know when to be quiet. Let that silence loom. Sometimes you don't have to fill that void. A lot of guys, especially, if there's quiet, they think, "Oh, I got to say something." Not so. I watched a movie called The Hating Game, and they spent a whole lot of time in one room, and all they were doing is staring at each other, mad at one another. But you could see the energy. The actor and the actress did a good job of creating the energy of the tension. And folks, tension is what builds relationship. So again, women will sometimes challenge you and challenge your opinions and your beliefs. And a lot of times dudes will just fold their tents. I mean, they'll just change their opinion and start agreeing with the woman. That's the biggest turnoff for her you could possibly have. You need to have beliefs. You need to be able to stick by your guns. You need to be able to create that tension, talk that trash, nickel and dime and two-line rhyme. And if she doesn't like it, she can get up any time and move on. What you'll find is they like that. They like to argue. They like to see if what your beliefs are. They want to debate you and challenge you, especially if they think you're an intellectual. I mean, intellectuals turn women on by conversations. They can be conversationalists, and a woman likes that. A woman's turned on by touch and by hearing. Men mostly by sight. So a lot of times the banter, the tension that's building, if you'll hold your grounds and be able to debate with her and then you smile at her and tease her a little bit and oh, you don't know what you're talking about, you little shortcake, that type of thing. You add to. You always want to just match the energy and add to it. Match the energy and add to it. Remember, you can always reel it back in. If you've gone too far, which Fee's been known to do, you can reel it back in. But if you don't throw it out there, you don't know how far it is to the bottom. You don't know the depth that you can go with that conversation and with that relationship. So go for it and match the energy and add to it. And that's what I would tell you to do. 90% of all communications is body languages. So if she drops her guard, if she drops her shoulders, if she snorts with a laugh, or if she burps, or she's one of those funny. I mean, you get them tickled and laughing and stuff. You just, the relationship, the laws of attraction, is when she lets her guard down, and you don't dog her for it or make her feel bad for it. It just adds to. It adds to. And as your relationship grows, you're going to pick up on a whole lot more vibes that she will enjoy, not that everybody enjoys. Remember, you want a wide scope at first to choose from, and then you want to narrow it down, and then you want to funnel it down to one. And so if you're in a group setting and don't know anybody, or you're supposed to go out with your friends and meet some friends, you don't want to focus in on, well, this one's got a girlfriend, this one's got a girlfriend, this one's got a boyfriend, this one's got a boyfriend, this has got a boyfriend. I guess between these two, I'll take her. It's not what it's all about. Let it flow, let the vibes go, but read every person's eyes in the room. You know, if you're talking to her and she's looking around the room, a lot of times that's not her being bored. A lot of times that's her checking to see if other people are seeing how intensely she's looking at you. And I don't know if you know it, but women like guys that other women like. And that's just normal. Women they just like to know that other women are attracted to who they're attracted to. And you talk about men are much weaker than women. I mean, they got to have a wingman. They got to have their folks go over and ask you, do you like him? Would you like? It's the 6th grade. It's the 8th grade trilogy. You know, if you want to invite somebody to the dance, you got to have your friend go and ask him. Well, if he asked you to the dance, would you go? Well, yeah, I would. Well, maybe not. Well, then he doesn't ask or he does ask. That's just weak. We got to do a better job of showing men and women how to flirt, how to see the signs, how to enjoy part of the relationship building. You know, it's not all about closing the first time. It is about being able to realize, hey, I need to either leave when the energy's the highest. I'm never good at goodbyes. I'll just be gone because I want the energy high when I leave. I don't want it to be all sad and bad. So you got to know when the energy is high while you can get out of there. Or you got to have the ability to go say, would you like to leave with me? Or would you like to go out at a later date? Those are the type of things that's part of closing. But men don't need to close so quickly. They don't need to limit their possibilities because women they talk to several men, and women they're much better liars and manipulators than men. Men, they just lazy. They find one, they like him, that she just goes right about her. That's who he wants. If she turns him down, he'll find another one. But the women, they got 4 or 5 lines out at all times, and even when you think that they like you, they got possibilities. So you got to get through that first initial stages with them. And if you check all those signs, I've tried to give you several different tips. But if you'll be able to notice that, the body language and those are the key, being able to see it. I say here that tension builds, excitement thrives in situations that most men don't even understand, much less read and react. So I think that's an accurate statement, and I'm not trying to be mean. I just don't think that they're looking that far in advance. They're just, does she like me? Did she give me a compliment? One thing that I'll always tell you, if you want to get to that second level from being just Phee, don't people say I'm clueless. Once you get past the clueless level, here's what you got to get to. You got to get to where when they start saying, "Boy, you're trouble," or "You're dangerous," or "I bet you're a problem." You need to realize that that's what they're thinking about you being. In their mind, when they're talking to you, she likes you being trouble. She likes you being dangerous. She likes you being a player. She likes you being adventurous. And so when she's throwing those things out to you, you got her. All you got to do is just get her to the boat because she's on the line. And most guys just don't get it. They don't understand. So in order to catch those vibes, in order for you not to be clueless, you need to understand the body language. And the first thing you do is check those eyes and that smile. See if she can relax with those postures. See what her language is for you, if she's telling you you're dangerous or you're trouble. See if she's looking around the room to see if anybody else is watching her with you. A lot of times you'll see them, they'll stare at you for 3 minutes, and then all of a sudden they'll catch themselves staring at you, and then they'll start looking around, and then right back at you, and then they'll look around right back at you. And man, that's fun. It's not scary. It's not. It's not the least bit life-threatening. It's fun. It's supposed to be fun. So match the energy and have a good time, but don't be clueless, because if you're not able to read those signs or react to those signs, then you're going to continue to be clueless. And if a girl's having to tell you that, hey, look, I done given you every sign in the world and you still don't know I like you, so guess what? I like you. That's an attraction killer, brother. So get better at that. Plays us back 4 or 5 times. Get all that you need, and get out there and have a good time. That's what I would tell you as I'm trying to find you. Vince in Colorado. All right, next question, Vince in Colorado. Here we go. Next question. Well, I tell you, terrible. Absolutely terrible. All right. Phee, do you think President Trump will run for president in 2028? Also, based on Revelations 13:3, Donald Trump has survived a mortal wound to the head. He has stopped 6 wars. He is revered, and no one can make war with him. The White House ballroom drawings looks a lot like the Third Temple. He is the Antichrist. Alex in Missouri. Alex, you're not going to give up on me, are you? This is your third one, baby. This is your third one, Alex, that you're talking about Donald Trump's Antichrist. I'm not doing a good enough job with you, Alex. I obviously am not doing a good enough job for you. So let's, first of all, it's amazing. When I was playing golf, they told me Donald Trump's been shot. First thing I said, well, he's going to live because he's going to be the president of the United States. I went on and finished my round. I don't know if what you would think a mortal wound would be of getting shot in the ear. Now, if he was shot between the eyes and lived, that might be it. But the mortal wound is nothing about a head. It is the four heads of the leopard and of that beast. And the third head is the third right. And that's the mortal wound. And that's when, after World War II, that Germany had to build the Berlin Wall. And it became East Germany and West Germany. That's the mortal wound, that when that wall was taken down, that country became Germany again, it was healed. And the fourth head is the Fourth Reich, which they're in now. So it has nothing to do with Donald Trump. Now, let's go back to your question as far as Donald Trump being the president in 2028. The 22nd Amendment will tell you that that's not going to happen. But Mark had a clip Friday at Phee Smee Show with Manly Mark with a guy named Bannon, last name Bannon, that used to work with the Trumps. And he was already talking about Trump running in 2028 and able to get around that in several different ways. Here's what immediately I thought about is Zelensky. Zelensky is still the president of Ukraine because of that war. And I saw that Donald Trump would be the president of the United States during World War III. That's why he was elected. He was anointed to do this civil war, the civil unrest, all of this stuff in the Middle East, and the World War III. So, I mean, I know the Sixth Trumpet War is coming. I know it's coming in his term. So now, I would love nothing more than the World War III not to have happened before. I would also before 2028. So if Trump gets to run in 2028 because we're at war, that's one thing. But if he finds another way to get around it, he's going to be the president of the United States when the Sixth Trumpet War hits. And the more time Fee's got, the better it is with Phee. because I'm telling you, it's going to be better to be a year early than 1 second late. Because, folks, when it's late, you're late. And I just love the fact when you ever seen the movie with Kevin Costner for the love of the game, when he says, I thought you weren't going to show up. He says, in 18 years, have I ever been late? And the manager said, nope, you're never late until you are. Well, I'm here to tell you, you don't want to be late to this one. Because, first of all, they're going to go to the grocery stores, and when the grocery stores don't have any food, they're going to go to the neighbors, and then after they go to the neighbors, they're going to come to your house. And I was watching a reel today that I was watching, getting prepared for this, and I thought, that's exactly what's going to happen in these cities. I'm telling you, I've seen it. I mean, you're talking about some chaos and turmoil. It is ridiculous what's coming. And man, I'm thankful I'm living in Arkansas, and we're gonna have enough problems in Arkansas. But boy, those big cities and the National Guard's gonna be there, and boy, it's gonna be rough because people they tend to eat, and they want to eat, and they want to drink. And you got right at over 15 million homeless. That 60% of those folks are they're mentally unstable or ill due to diet, lack of nutrition, clean water. I mean, sometimes they go days and weeks without eating, and what they eat's out of trash. Or, they might get lucky to have 1 out of 7 days get to a shelter. But the other folks, those homeless folks, they're organized. They know what they're doing, and they've got some help. And they're going to come out there, and they're going to get anything and everything they want. And so that's why you have to prepare. And the National Guard is so important, and the police and the military with our ICE, they're going to start shooting them. They're going to start killing them. They're going to start shooting our own police, our own military, our own ICE, the National Guard. You're looking at civil war, folks. You're looking at terrorist attacks, cyber attacks. That it's unbelievable. And World War III, if you think that the United States of America is going to go through the Sixth Trumpet War, World War III, and never get hit or never get bombed or never have any loss of life, it's just very naive. I've seen it. You're going to have a lot of loss of life. You're going to have a lot of problems and chaos. You're going to have a lot of turmoil and death. The great thing about it is we're giving you time here to prepare, and we win. Because of the National Guard, because of the military, because of the police, because of the first responders. Most Americans, when it comes to push and shove, want to live in America. They love America. They want their family to be raised here, and they want their family to be safe. And if they've got to go to war for that on their own home turf, you're going to find we're going to win. We're going to eliminate a whole lot of folks that got bad intentions for our country. But if you think that's going to happen without anybody having any problems, you're misled. And you got to get your head out of the sand, because all these prophecy teachers that have been in this business and all this arena for so many years, I mean, they have no credibility with me. Rapture's happening in September, and you got a preacher, major preachers writing books and Bible studies and all these just notes, and it's ridiculous. I tell you what, folks, you're in a situation now where if you're not reading the basic instructions before leaving Earth, you're going to be deceived. You're going to be deceived. So what I think about President Trump in 2028 being our president, I love it. I'd love it. I'd love it. I hope it happens, and I hope the Sixth Trumpet War hadn't started yet. But what I have a feeling of is the Sixth Trumpet War, World War III, has already started, and that we don't hold elections. He continues to be our president in 2028. That's what I would tell you I would be betting on. Now, as far as Revelations 13:3, I have to tell you guys, Alex, you especially, you love the fact that Donald Trump got shot in the ear. You think that's a mortal wound, huh? Let's read Revelations 13:3. And let's see what you think about it. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. There's your 3.5 years, folks. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle. That might have something to do with that third tabernacle that y'all think is just symbolic, that he's going to stand in and declare himself as God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints. Again, if the saints are all pre-raptured out, why is he making war with them? I mean, it's just in the basic instructions before leaving earth. It is truth. It was here before the beginning of time. So it is the Word, and the Word is truth. So that it doesn't get easier for me to understand. It was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. There's your one world government. And all that dwell upon earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. So there's your Revelations 13, and you think that he's received a mortal wound. I do not think that was a mortal wound, that he was died and then it was healed. But yes, he's stopped wars. He doesn't need to be worshipped as a Messiah, and he doesn't need to be hated. He's anointed for this time, and God's going to utilize him and use him for his exact purpose as he moves the chess pieces all around the board. So you're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. My Lord knew exactly what you would have done and what you will do and where you are now. So no matter how bad your life is, or what mistakes you've made in the past, or who's mistreated you in the past, all of those things have now an accumulation of right now. Because now is the rest of your life. Remember, tomorrow is the first day of the rest of your life. It doesn't have to stay the same. In economics, very few things ever have an equilibrium for long. Things get better or they get worse. Well, they might, I had a job for 30 years and it was great and I just loved it. Okay, that's good. You had a good season. You had a good career. Don't know what else happened in that part of your life. Maybe every aspect of your life was great for a certain amount of time. But normally, life catches up with people. If I have 4 kids, so if 3 of them were having a good day and one of them was having a bad one, Daddy was worried about the one having the bad one. And if 3 of them have good situations and one has a bad one, Daddy's worried about the bad one. See, I care to make sure. I want them all. I used to tell them when they were growing up, it's tough to have a good day. Because in order for me to have a good day, all of them have to have good days. And then if I was married, she had to have a good day. And then if I was working, my employers, they had to have a good day. Or my employees, they had to have a good day. So every aspect of your life, it's hard for all of them to be great all the time. So it's all about an attitude of gratitude. It's all about celebrating the good days and enduring the bad. And if you'll continue with that, you won't have any problem not realizing, well, hey, I've had a bad day, or I can't believe this happened to me. Well, trust me when I tell you, I can believe it happened to you, and I can believe you had a bad day, because Fee's had bad days. He's had bad years. I went 2 years so sick I couldn't get out of bed. So you think a headache bothers me now? I'm very thankful, very aware about it, trying to figure out, but it doesn't really concern me like it would have back then. I've endured a lot. So Donald Trump is not the Antichrist. Now, as far as this White House ballroom, can you guys realize that what these news cycles are doing to you? I mean, if it's a slow day in the world, you got folks that are talking about this ballroom. First of all, it's funded privately. We need a ballroom. We don't need porta potties out there on the lawn with a tent like you're having a wedding or a tent revival at the White House. And about them putting secret bunkers under the ballroom for the nuclear. Folks, if you think that the White House or our president doesn't already have a nuclear bunker, okay. I would have told you they had one of those a long time ago. They didn't need to build a ballroom for it. Oh, well, it's the drawings like the third temple. He's the Antichrist, especially the outer courts that'll be trodden down for 42 months. Okay. I don't care if it's the exact replica. They've got pictures of the third temple being the drawings, and they've got pictures of the ballroom. They look real similar, okay? That has nothing to do with Donald Trump being the Antichrist. If he wants to pattern, I'd be great if he wants to pattern off there. But build the ballroom and entertain some folks there. And if you want to put another bunker underneath it, do that. But that doesn't have anything to do with him being the Antichrist. Matter of fact, let's go to your Revelations 13, and let's just go back there and see what you think about this. Let's go to Revelations 13, 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spoke like a dragon. And he exercises all the power that the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them that which therein to worship the first beast. Now, there you go with that beast. Now let's go back and let's look at the 10-headed or horned beast. You want to do that? Because we can go to Daniel. Let's go to Daniel 7. Now, my vision showed me about these kings that Daniel's talking about, which are not kings or kingdoms, they're countries now. But back then, Daniel had a tough time with this because he didn't know anything about democracy or presidents or prime ministers or, royal families. He was thinking about kings and kingdoms. All right. Here we go. You got the lion, you got the bear, you got the leopard. And then, after I saw in the night visions, behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, strong and exceedingly, and had great iron teeth, it devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of. And it was diverse from all the beasts that therefore before it. And it had 10 horns. Now, the 10 horns represent the European Union, the Holy Roman Empire. And of these 10 horns, 1 horn's going to come out of it. That's the Antichrist. Okay, so the Antichrist is going to come out of the European Union, the Holy Roman Empire. You're going to remember you got your false world religious leader, the false prophets, and you got the Antichrist. One world government, one world religion. After World War III, the Sixth Trumpet War, the United Nations will have that in place. And they've got interfaith movements going all throughout the world now. All roads lead to God. Whatever religion it is leads to God. He made everybody. He loves everybody. He wants everybody to be known, cared for, loved, no matter what they worship, what they think. Worship trees, worship seas, worship the sun, worship the moon. Worship, worship, worship. And again, people love to worship things, but there's not but one thing you need to be worshiping, not but one master, not but one God. But the 10 horns, one horn's going to come out from under it. And it's not Donald Trump in the United States. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. That's your Antichrist. So over there, we're going to be fighting with these folks, with the leopards and the lion and the European Union against all these axis of evil with Iran and China and North Korea and Venezuela and India and Russia. That's who you're going to be fighting against in the 6th trumpet war. Then we're going to turn back around and have this United Nations that we're not going to be a part of. And 3.5 years into that, then we're going to have a problem with the Antichrist breaking that covenant with Israel that Israel had with many. And when that happens, they're going to kill a lot of saints, a lot of elect, a lot of Christians, a lot of children of God. And I'm telling you, that is rough. You think killing a third of mankind is rough? That last 3.5 years it puts it on a whole different level, folks. So there again is telling you that Donald Trump, for the 3rd time, Alex, is not the Antichrist. His ballroom might look like the 3rd temple. He might have got shot in the ear, although I think it's a stretch to call that a mortal wound. But anyway, I don't think there's any way that I can help you any more than to tell you that I saw Donald Trump when they be elected, that Wisconsin would take him over the top, and that when he came out and it said the golden age of America, it was just like when I dropped that hole in one and nobody was around. I just looked at that and said, thank you, Lord. Thank you. I mean, there isn't any doubt whatsoever in my mind, never has there been, and I have done some things that no one will believe until I can show them. And I'm not showing them until the time is right. And my Lord gives me time, and He'll give me the right time to do that. And we're going to have a whole lot of things that are going to go on before that. So He's not the Antichrist. I don't know about his the 3rd ballroom looking like the 3rd temple. I've seen the drawings. But do I think he'll be elected president in 2028? I'm telling you right now, I believe he might be the last president the United States ever has. And I know how old he is. You remember, you just saw the Pope and King Charles praying together. The revived Holy Roman Empire had the first Pope, by the way, Pope Leo, with Charlemagne. Now you got another Pope, took the name Leo, with the King Charles. Let's see, would that be the mouth of a lion, the King of England? I don't know. Seems like old Phee knows what he's talking about. Go see His Kingdom is Coming, episode 1. See about me talking about King Charles. All right, folks, let's go down to the next question. Phee, what makes you certain the U.S. is the eagle and that America wins? I've always been taught that the Christians are raptured before the tribulation and that America isn't around when Jesus returns. Heather, Mississippi. Well, Heather, the vision I had on June the 24th, 2023, what it did, it was 13 months after I was supposed to be dead. So when I tell you I believe that vision, my Lord gave me that vision specifically to make sure that I realized that America wins. There was no doubt what those animals represented to me. Lots of doubt. If you read Daniel 12, he just was shook up. Shook up. I mean, if the angel finally told you, just go on about your way, Daniel. Go on about your way. Well, it was real easy, much easier for me because it was modern day. I wasn't having to look at scorpions and locusts. I wasn't trying to think whether it was Babylon or Persia or the Ottoman Empire. It was very obvious to me. and I've had the ability to go to most of those countries. When I say most of them, that's not accurate, because I haven't been to Germany or Russia. So, but I have been to a lot of European countries, and Norway, France, England, Amsterdam, Denmark, Holland. So, I mean, it was much easier for me. But how do I know that go to Daniel 7, which Mark thinks this is just a coincidence, that 602 BC, when Daniel has a vision, that he actually has the 7 forwards. This is chapter 7, verse 4. But we'll start reading in verse 1. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the 4 winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea. And 4 great beasts came up from the sea, diverse from one another. The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. Now, in chapter 7:4, that's Uncle Sam. Now remember, the line is Great Britain. Okay, we were plucked from Great Britain on July the 4th, 1776. Now, when those 4 beasts come together in Revelation, the eagle's wings are not part of that one beast, that one world system, that that Antichrist system that is set up now. The United States isn't a part of it. The United States, Israel, and Jordan will be the only 3 countries in the world that aren't a part of the United Nations, one world government, one world religion. So there's your first one, Daniel 7:4. You saw the beast, it looked like a lion that had eagle's wings until they were plucked. And if you want to talk about the man standing up, that's Uncle Sam. A heart was given to him. I want you. So there's your man. Those are the 2 symbols of the United States. How do you write it? 600 BC. Unbelievable. To know that's just my Lord. See, that's how strong you can be confident in His word. Now, if you want to look and see how you realize that the United States stands with Israel for 3.5 years, you'd need to go to Revelations. So go to Revelations, and go to Revelations. I believe it's 13. I don't. Excuse me. All right. All right. I wrote it down wrong in my notes, but I'm going to have to go here. Anyway, it will tell you that the great wings of an eagle carries the woman with the 12 stars out in the wilderness for times, and half a times. Also in Daniel 9, you'll see that talked about again. But the 2 reasons you can think of that: number 1, Daniel 7:4, with the wings being plucked from the line, and then in the end in Revelations, how the woman with the 12 stars, when Satan is trying to kill the child, okay, then you will see that the lady with the 12 stars is carried out in the wilderness for time and a half a times. That's the last 3.5 years. Now, the question is, where is the United States at the Battle of Armageddon? Well, I don't see the United States at the Battle of Armageddon. But I do know that the last 3.5 years, the United States is strong. So, right before the Battle of Armageddon, the saints, the elect, the children of God are raptured out, and then my Lord comes and battles at the Battle of Armageddon and wins. So, is the United States a part of that Battle of Armageddon? I do not know that, but I do know they stand for 3.5 years after. It's a 7-year temporary peace plan. Then it's a 3.5 year tribulation plan, wrath of Satan, and we're standing all the way with Israel for those 3.5 years, those 42 months, those 1,260 days, those basically times and half times. So the United States is going to be there with Israel, the nation of Israel. Doesn't matter. You've got several different types of Jews, and who will be in control, and who's elected in the future, and what type of government they have. All kinds of things can happen, folks, between a world war, a sixth trumpet war, and the Battle of Armageddon. Especially when you got this Antichrist that's going to be trying to kill and eliminate Jews and Christians off the face of the earth, which is what he's going to be trying to do. And he's going to have some successes. He's just not going to win. So, also, when you look at, and he informed me and talked with me and said, O Daniel, I am now come forth to give thee skill and understanding. Daniel 9:22. So that should tell you that when my Lord gave me this vision, he gave me the vision to have the skill and the understanding to coach and to teach you. So the United States is going to stand with Israel for the last 3.5 years. That's how you know that we win World War III, and that's how you know that we stand with Israel. We're strong in the end. So the last 2 days, the last 3 days, the last week, I don't see the United States at the Battle of Armageddon, because the bear's there, and Iran's there. Persia's definitely there if you read Ezekiel with Gog and Magog. That's Russia and Iran. But I don't hear anything about or read anything about the Battle of Armageddon, the United States being there. But they're there for the 3.5 years leading up to it, in the darkest times of the saints' history. And remember, my Lord, Matthew 24 says, if it wasn't for the saints, no one would live. But those days were cut short because of the saints. So I do appreciate that question, and thank you so much, Heather in Mississippi. Next question. Phee, do you believe people will worship AI? Deanna in Missouri. Deanna, I think people are already worshiping AI. I see people getting married to their chat boxes. I think people will get married to their AI companions. I think people will absolutely fall in love with everything that AI can do for them, and that they will worship knowledge. It's very scriptural that knowledge will increase in the last days, and that is AI. That is the beast system. It is in place with the central bank digital currencies. It is your social credit scores. China is already doing it. The UK is going nuts with these digital ID cards. People protesting in the streets. You've got already Sweden, Denmark, several of them over there that aren't protesting at all and already are enjoying it. And you've got over 10,000 people on a waiting list for Neuralink surgeries. So I'm here to tell you, folks, I've already tried to tell you, regenerative medicine is the way to go. You do not want to put anything in your brain or to give people access to your thoughts and your mind. You've already got this, directed energy that's this remote viewing and mental conditioning that I know people don't understand or don't believe. A lot of things, if you know me, before 2023, you'd think I thought a bunch of this stuff is just nonsense, but it's not. It's as strange as it sounds. when the CIA has been working on stuff and for 20 and 30 and 40 years with this remote viewing and all this AI, extraterrestrials and UAPs and UFOs and weather manipulation, just crazy stuff. I mean, if you've got a life, you're not thinking about it. And that's what they're counting on, folks. They're counting on you just not thinking about it and being deceived by it. So my vision, folks, I have to tell you that it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And if you'll stay tuned to the Phee Smee Network, you will not be deceived, and you will be children of the light. We will go right by the basic instructions before leaving Earth. The Word of God, it's true. He cannot change. He cannot lie. He knows the end from the beginning, the Alpha to the Omega. He's going to set up his 1,000-year kingdom right here on earth. We're going to help him if you're a child of God. He's going to have responsibilities for us at that time, and there's a lot of things that have to go on between now and then. So stay tuned to the Phee Smee Network, and as they keep unfolding, we're just going to be ahead of the curve, because my vision, folks, it's 100%. It's not a matter. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. I do appreciate you guys tuning into the Phee Smee Network's Night with Phee. Remember, no matter what you're doing, you're missing something. So let's make what we're doing worth what we're missing. Night.